Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear now. If you can I see your responses in the chat? You're all welcome to Wisdom Ignite Academy webinar, Navigating Internship Application Successfully. So if you know one or two persons that are meant to be here that are not yet here, this is the best time to share the link with them, invite them to join in. We're about to kick off now, and our guest speaker is right here with us. All right, I can see more people are joining in. You can introduce yourself briefly, your name, your university. If you want to, you can go ahead to do that in the next few minutes. All right, so the chat is open for you to introduce yourself. We'll just start off now with an opening prayer. Lord, we say thank you for this webinar. Thank you for what you're set to achieve. Thank you for the guest speaker. Lord, be glorified in Jesus' name. As we start off, Lord, start with us and take absolute control, even as many will be utilizing all they will gather here in applying for their various internships and job applications. Father, you make their application successful. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So you're all welcome once again to Wisdom Ignite Academy webinar, where we are looking at the topic Navigating Internship Applications Successfully. We have our guest speaker here with us, just like I said earlier. But just before we start off, I'll just give you a brief about Wisdom Ignite Academy. So Wisdom Ignite Academy is a virtual mentorship and tutoring academy where we teach, we mentor, we inspire law undergraduates, law graduates, those finished last year, August 2024. And so far, we've recorded the rise of red scholars. So today we are glad to have an amazing guest speaker with us. And just before I introduce him, I would just like to introduce myself. My name is Opeyemi Blessing Adeshegun. So I'm the lead tutor and mentor at Wisdom Ignite Academy. I consider it a great privilege and honor to have every one of you here with us at this webinar session. I know you have friends, you have learned colleagues that are here to join in. Can you just remind them, can you just post and repost that the webinar is live and we are about to invite our guest speaker. So without wasting much time, because we have a lot to learn, I'm going to invite our guest speaker. Our guest speaker is Emmanuel Uzodinma. He's a recent law graduate of the University of Calabar. He's passionate about the intersection between law and technology, particularly in the context of data privacy, intellectual property, dispute resolution, and corporate law practice. As one who actively engaged in legal research, writing and advocacy during his undergraduate years, Uzodinma has been able to hone his ability to analyze legal issues, draft persuasive arguments, and communicate effectively. He has also gained hands-on experience of the legal practice through internships and mentorship sessions. Some of his notable internships include his internship at the chambers of the then MBA Calabar branch, Insika, IPEM, and Co. His internship with Olaniwun in West Africa, and currently at Omaplex Law Firm, a leading technology and dispute resolution firm in Abuja. He has also undergone mentorship sessions with Legal Ideas Forum International, LIFIN, JIPCC, Juliana Imam Intellectual Property Consults, and NIPC, Nigerian Intellectual Property Club. So I'm expecting to see our reactions. You can use the reactions to clap. You can use the reactions to show some love to our guest speaker. So I'm expecting to see that in the chat as well, where he has been able to learn and receive guidance from seasoned mentors and legal professionals that have shaped his legal journey and career. He's a member of the Tech Minded Lawyers Club, where he actively honed his expertise and skills in tech law, particularly in the realms of data privacy, startup advisory, and AI governance. Inter Allah. Uzodinma's journey has been marked by notable leadership roles and impactful services in Class 1, in Lawson, and in LIFIN, and in his chambers as Director of Litigation and Principal Counsel. Through his roles, he has earned his leadership and teamwork proficiencies, successfully orchestrated events, collaborated seamlessly with diverse teams, and exhibited strong communication skills. Uzodinma is open to opportunities where he can apply the knowledge and experience he has gathered to analyze, research on, and resolve complex legal issues, and generally contribute to the effective administration of justice in the legal profession. In his leisure, he enjoys watching videos and documentaries on international relations and politics. As an ardent fan and supporter of Chelsea, the current world champions, Emmanuel Uzodinma has a winning mindset and approaches his endeavors with faith, resilience, grit, and vigor. With a resounding applause, let's make welcome our guest speaker for this session, Emmanuel Uzodinma. You have the floor. You are most welcome. I hope you can hear me, Emmanuel Uzodinma.
I said, yes, I can hear you. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I'm just trying to set up the slides. And please do let me know how you want me to start.
Okay, yeah. Good evening.
Good evening and welcome.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. So basically, I I'm just coming back and I'm trying to like settle down. So, but I find it a
All
great
right.
privilege to speak at this webinar and then contribute my own little quota of impact and knowledge and share my experience and journey thus far. So, over to the business of the day. Before I start, I would like to start with asking this very crucial question. And the question is I would like to know our expectations for the webinar. So, I will be properly guided because I prepared a lot of things. And I don't know if time will permit me to exhaust all that I prepared. I shared with the host about 3 slides, which if we start handling each and every one of them, we may not leave tonight. So I want to know each and every of our expectations so I can streamline what I have to share. Whether I should just go straight to CV and cover writing or just streamline what I have to share, the knowledge and experience I have to share with us. So I don't know if everyone in this call registered so that because in the registration link there was room for stating your expectations so that the host can read out the various expectations and I'll be properly guided. Or for some persons that did not register, you can also raise up your hand and unmute yourself and let me or let us know your expectations so that it will properly guide what I am saying or our discussion tonight. So I'll be handing the floor over to our host to just read out some of or most of the expectations, especially if most of them are similar. Just read the similar ones and then to properly guide me in my discussion in our conversation tonight. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, in while I just go straight to our registration link and those that we've been able to gather, I would just like to hear first of all from those that joined here currently. So I observed that Akinyele was the first person to join this call. I'm sure she has so much expectations for being here. So we would like to hear from you, Akinyele, your expectation for being at this webinar. Thank you. I guess she can't hear me or she's busy. Okay, can we hear from any other person? Shamaka, Kenny, Rose, anybody wants to join and just share? Okay, Queen just joined. Does anybody wants to share their expectations for this webinar? Why are you here? Why are you spending your evening with us? What do you want to learn? What do you look forward to so that we ensure that we meet your expectation at this webinar? All right, you have the floor, Rose Oji.
Good evening, Ma. Good evening to our host. My
Evening.
expectation for this webinar is how to craft a compelling CV and how to position yourself for opportunities.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for sharing. So our guest speaker has heard you and it will surely ensure it meets your expectation. So anybody else wants to share? Okay, so without wasting much of our time, most of what we have here on our registration link as well, most people want to learn how to successfully apply for internship, how to craft their CVs, how to craft their cover letters. So I think you should make it more practical. How can I put out a outstanding CV in the numerous applications out there? What makes my CV to stand out? How can I effectively craft my cover letter and make it to stand out? How were you able to apply to these top tier law firms and get in? Like, how did Olaniwun Ajayi accept your application? How did Omaplex Law Firm Abuja accept your application? What were other numerous law graduates doing wrongly and you were doing rightly? I think you should just make it practical with us. Yes, that's why we are here to learn. So over to you, guest speaker.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate, especially the person that uh, voiced out her expectations for tonight's meeting. So, from what has been said, my teaching tonight will be tailored into two things or into two parts. The first part is how to position yourself for internship opportunities, and the second part is how to craft compelling CVs. And as if I knew that, that was how I structured my materials and the slides. And when I was preparing, that was how I structured myself in my preparation. So, down to the business of the day. First, I'll be talking on how to position yourself for internship opportunities. But it's very important for us to know and understand what internship opportunities are before we talk about positioning. So from the slide here, so this slide, like I said earlier on, I sent about 3 slides to the host, and all these slides are not from me. They are not emanating from me. They are slides from the sessions, internship sessions like this that I attended, especially when I was in school, when I was an undergraduate. That helped me. In fact, it's one of the reasons or one of the things that made me who I am with regards to internship. That helped me land internships and to sharpen my skill in the art of CV writing and internship application. So the first slide was a slide presented by the then national president of LAWSAN, the person of Yassi Abubakar. So if you check by the bottom right hand of the slide, you will see that you see a small picture of Tom Mutom, Yassi Abubakar, and one other person is internship webinar. So it was one of those webinars I got the slides, and he was able to expatiate and elucidate more on how to go about internship, how to secure internship opportunities and effectively apply for internship opportunities. So, but what is internship? Based on what was defined here, it was stated that the internship is a position of a student or a trainee who works in an organization, sometimes without pay, in order to gain work experience or satisfy the requirements for a qualification. So from this definition, the key word to take note of when defining internship is that it is a position of a student or a trainee who is working to gain work experience. There are paid internships and there are unpaid internships. So there are firms that pay and there are firms that do not pay. So that should make you not to be focused. In fact, when applying for internships or when attending internships, your focus should not be on the pay. Your focus should be on the work experience. So the key word there is the work experience. Yes, the work experience, to gain the needed work experience, whether with pay or without pay. Hopefully you land in a firm that pays, but it is not compulsory for firms to pay. So but what is compulsory is that you are gaining hands-on experience if you're a law student of the legal practice, if you are a medical student of medical practice and other professional fields of study. So over to the next slide. I need a slide on the importance of internship. The importance of internship. Yeah. Okay, so are you there? Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here with you, so I'll go straight to the next slide now.
Yes. So let me just brush through on what internship.
Importance of law firm internship, right? Am I
Okay,
on the right slide?
yes. So there is one that they outlined. Go to the next page or the next slide. It was an outline.
Okay.
Exactly. So you can see learning experience. So why I am going to the definition and importance of internships for you to understand the real reason. Some people want to apply for internship, but they don't understand why they should. They are just doing it because their mates want to. You get, I almost fell into that trap because at some point, almost everywhere I was going, almost everything I was seeing online was one internship or the other. So I kind of felt intimidated. I was almost pressured to want to start applying to as many law firms without purpose. Because when applying for an internship, you must have a purpose. And it's this purpose I'm trying to establish, the purpose of why you should apply for internship. So this is what is leading me to the importance of internship. So the first one is the learning experience. So first of all, you want to gain hands-on experience of the legal practice. So you are not just applying because your mates are doing so. You are applying because you have a focus, you have something you want to get. Second of all, you want to boost your CV and advance your career. Because when you attend internships, you network, you be exposed to the legal profession. And I'm aware that we have one or two persons that are not law students here. So let me not limit it to the legal profession. Other fields of study or other profession, um, you would it will help you advance your career in those other industries and profession. And it is also an addition to your CV. I mean, if you intern at top tier law firms, it will be very, very easy for you to gain more opportunity. You know, they say opportunity meets opportunity. Yes. So if you get this opportunity and you add it when applying for the next opportunity to be your strength, and that's how you keep on growing and climbing the ladder till you get to your desired goal. So the CV boost and career advancement is a very strong importance and point when considering applying for internship. So the next one is networking opportunities. I've talked on that. You'll be exposed to industry professionals and have networking opportunity. The next one is effective career plan and decisions, confidence boost, to boost your confidence. It will provide mentorship opportunities for you, and it will provide job offers. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, it will help you get job offers and land that your dream job, and overall to give you a successful career. So these are some of the key points to take note of on the importance of internships. So the next one I think we are done with this slide. So go to the second slide that I told you about. That has about 11 pages or 12 by Gypsy. So go to the next. So but before, why she tries to open the next slide, so I'm going to talk about how to position yourself for internship. So this is where I'm going to share my story and my journey thus far. This is where I'm going to share my journey thus far on how I was able to scale to from my undergraduate level up to now, from year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So I think my internship journey began in year 3. Actually, year 1, year 2 were my foundational years. And if there's anyone in this course that is in year 1, year 2, I want to I want you to be assured that you don't need to be pressured. There is no need for pressure. In as much as it's very important for you to get internships from year 1 and year 2, I think you, even if you don't get, you shouldn't be pressured. You shouldn't be pressured. What you should do rather is developing yourself and your skill set to make yourself valuable enough to be well positioned for internship. So one of the ways of developing your skill set is by attending webinars like this. So you start developing and cultivating the necessary skills that will aid you when you mature to the extent of applying for internship. So most interns are usually from year 3, though we also have people that from their year 2 they start interning. But most interns are usually from year 3, because by then, I mean, it's the intermediate class and you must have gone halfway through your study of law. So, but year 1, year 2 is your foundational class. That's also a time you focus on your CGPA, because the period of building CGPA is in year 1, year 2. But you don't just focus. One little mistake I made, I'll call it little because I believe it was not as adverse as I am thinking. So one little mistake I made is that I wasn't really into all this internship. Someone like a friend of mine, Great Nezayonsa, it was in his year 2, he even interned where I'm interning now at Omaplex, because of how he started on time, though he did diploma in law. So if you did diploma, it can give you an edge, because diploma is 2 years. So when you enter the LLB, when you enter LLB through direct entry, you must have spent 3 years and you must have been a bit mature. But all I'm trying to say is that focus on building your skill set, yeah, before applying. And then, because is that your skill set that will position you for the application. So what are the necessary skill sets you need to develop? First, you need to develop the skill of networking. Before you even start talking about CV and cover letter. Okay, let me share with you a very interesting story of mine in one of my internship journeys. So like I told you, my internship journey started in year 3. And this year 3, it was through how I got in was through it, networking. Actually, I was serving in class fund, and I was an executive in class fund. And so class fund actually helped me, because after my year 3, they started positioning, like there was internship slots, or there were internship slots. So um I was posted to the chambers of the chairman of MBA. That was when I did my internship with the chambers of MBA Calabar branch chairman's chambers. So I was posted there, and it was seamless because of an already existing network relationship I had through class fund. So it was seamless, even though I had not known him. But with that relationship, I was able to know him. I applied and I got accepted. So that's why it's very important. Apart from network, it's also very important for you to be active extracurricular wise, in terms of like taking up leadership position, because it was in my year 3 I started taking up leadership positions. Like I told you, I was not active in my year 1 and year 2. So, and that helped me in strategic points. But I'm not saying you should take up leadership positions because of internship. All I'm just saying is that you must not even take up leadership positions you can, what you may do is to network. What you may do is to attend conference. My second internship with Olaniwun Ajayi, it was not to leadership position, though classroom was also instrumental, but indirectly. How I got into Olaniwun Ajayi was through LinkedIn. Yes, it was LinkedIn that helped me to get a job through us, through the same networking that I'm talking about. So I was able to network with an associate in the firm that guided me through my application. And then Olaniwun's application process was special. It was not like the usual process of sending your CV and cover letter. Remember, I'm talking on positioning yourself for internship. So it was not like the usual process of sending your CV and cover letter. In fact, they don't use CV and cover letter. I don't know whether they've changed their policy now, but in my own time, what we did was there's something called statement of purpose. So we wrote a statement of purpose and made a video to defend that statement of purpose, and the successful entries got accepted. So every firm has its own peculiar means of accepting application. That's why it's very important the application that you send, and also get the proper email. Not get the proper application email when internship, because it's one thing for you to have a good, another thing for the cover letter to be sent to the right email. That was my experience with Omaplex. So I'm going to talk about I connected with that link that guided me through the process. It was even the one that sent me the application link. Like, he just took me as his own and ensured that I got in. And that's how my application was successful and I got in there. So LinkedIn is very, very important. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, is not late for you to start. You can open one. And I will give you a secret on how to easily grow on LinkedIn. I'm going to make a LinkedIn post to this effect. LinkedIn is the easiest platform to grow on if you are intentional. Do you know why? Set up on LinkedIn. Optimize your profile by putting a good profile picture, putting just setting up, putting the necessary details you need to fill in your profile and in your settings. The next thing you want to do is to start connecting with people of similar interests. And this connecting is not you just following them without them having the opportunity to follow you. This connecting is, there's a LinkedIn icon button. We may have to do another class on LinkedIn optimization. Unfortunately, this is not a LinkedIn optimization class, so there's going to be a limit to what I can say. So, but there is an invitation to connect button on LinkedIn that will help you connect with someone, so that when you click on that connect button, you not only follow the person. If the person have accept your invitation to connect, the person will automatically be your follower. That's how you can build followers on LinkedIn. And then, if you're not this kind of person that posts consistently, you can engage in people's posts and you can repost. There are people that almost all they do on LinkedIn is to repost, and their account is growing. You get, if you cannot make your own post, at least encourage other people's posts, and you repost the posts of industry leaders. You can repost posts of people you admire. Maybe you admire the person or you admire the post. That should it will also make people's interest to be tilted towards you. It will help you gain that traction you need. And then when you are connecting, when I was applying, or when I wanted to intern at Olaniwun Ajayi last year, what I did was that I went to LinkedIn, I searched for Olaniwun Ajayi, and I searched for associates in the firm. I started connecting with those associates. Then I connected with as many people as possible, as many associates as possible. Then the next thing I did after I connected, those that accepted my invitation to connect, the next thing I did was to send them a message for connection. We need to do a whole masterclass on LinkedIn, because if I start going into the details, time will fail me. So there's something called cold email or cold mail, like where you send them, you don't just tell them straight away that you want to do internship. You don't tell them straight away. What you do is that you will tell them, if you, especially those that you want to be mentored by them, you let them know your interest, let them know your progress as a student. If maybe you're occupying a position in your faculty and you have been making impact with the leadership position, let them know it. If you have an interest in, let's say, tech law or entertainment law, let them know it and say, oh, I have an interest in XYZ area of law, and my interest has led me to take so and so courses in this area of law, and I am looking for someone that will guide me and give me the tutelage I need to succeed in this area of my interest. You understand? You are, by doing so or by saying so, you've indirectly told, you did not expressly tell such a person that you need to be mentored by him, but you've also told him indirectly that you need to be mentored by him. People want, like, older professional or industry leaders or mentors are looking for mentees that they can mentor, but they are looking for serious mentees. They are looking for people that will be serious because they find fulfillment in providing this mentorship. The way we find fulfillment in them mentoring us, that's how they themselves find fulfillment, because they see it as giving back to the society. So when you tell them that you already began a journey and you are someone that is serious, you get passionate about growth, they'll be willing to connect with you. And this is my story. That's how I was able to connect with the associate at Olaniwun Ajayi. You know how busy such a person will be. So you know the kind of message I sent. I told him that, okay, let me just give you a brief rundown of the message I sent to him. I told him that, okay, I introduced myself. Then I was a 400 level and 400 level student of Unical, and that I am passionate about ADL and tech law. I see ADL as a future of law, and I I earnestly desire that. I earnestly desire so I look forward to someone that will help properly guide me and share some practical insights that will help me navigate through my journey in these areas of law. And at the time, I think I was taking a course in ICM's ADL. I was learning about ADL. I also shared with him. I think I also shared with him. And then I told him about my progress. But there was even a time I told him that I've taking up leadership position, and I've also done internship, because Olaniwun, mind you, I've already done internship before Olaniwun Ajayi. So I also told him that I've done internship and mentorship with Lifin, Nigerian Intellectual Property Club, NIPC, Inseka Kipeme and Co, the chambers of MBA Calabar branch. So when you saw that zeal and passion in me, though sometimes it takes days for him to reply me, sometimes throughout the week he may not even pick my call, but once he picks, we will talk for so long that, like, we're going to talk in a very meaningful and engaging manner. We're going to talk very meaningfully, but he's not, he's a very busy person. So he's this kind of person that once he has your time, you want to help you and then know how far you've been doing. That's how mentors are. Of course, they don't have all the time. They don't have the luxury of time. They already have things they are doing. So you don't need to add to their burden. What you are even meant to do is to ease their burden. So you can even offer to do one or two tasks for them, maybe research task or anything they want you. Because I can remember then I also, then with my own little leadership capacity, I called him to speak to IP students in a webinar. He spoke and he was delighted. He was fulfilled in doing that. So that was the only little thing I could do for him. You may not directly maybe offer writing gigs or research tasks for him. Some mentors may not be like that, but you can call him to speak at a webinar. This law firm, Omaplex, interning at, before I even got this internship, we called him to speak at a webinar that was a co-host. You get, he spoke to us. I met him beforehand. He gave me his contact card. That was how, in fact, we were already in connection before I applied. So that was how I was able to build that connection. So be a person of value. I posted something on my Twitter today that uh you do not exchange pity for value. You understand? Don't be a person that, oh, you want someone to give you a favor because the person is pitying you. Let the person give you the favor because he has seen value in you. So it's more like exchanging value for value. And even jobs, even employers, organizations, they want value. They don't want liabilities. They want assets. So position yourself as an asset, and you will be treated as an asset. You know, there's this popular saying, the way you dress is the way you are dressed. It's true. You understand? And in as much as you should not judge a book by its cover, but there's something called first impression, and first impression matters. So position yourself as an asset, and that's how people will treat you. And then also be that asset. Actually, don't just position yourself. Make sure that you are not just recognized, but you are seen, and you are someone that is actually an asset, someone that is actually someone of value. So that is on position. So that was how I was able to land my Olaniwun Ajayi internship. Of course, when I was applying, I had people that also assisted me, the likes of Tom Uton, the CEO of Career X Consulting. He helped me, guided me through my CV application. Relationships are very important. Build meaningful and strategic relations. Even when I was applying for Omaplex, my friend also helped me, Busayo, in arranging and crafting my CV. But I did the basic work. What she just did for me was just to edit and then put one or two in place. You understand? So relationships are very important. That's how to position yourself. Have friends that are serious minded, because they say birds of the same feather flock alike. And there's this saying of Davido, we rise by lifting others. Have friends that can actually lift you up, not people that won't be a burden to you, that will be weighing you down. It should be a mutual relationship, something that you offer value and you get value in return. You understand? Imagine I never had those friends, or even Tom was my senior colleague, Busayo was a bit of my senior colleague, but we related more as friends. You understand? I cannot, in fact, I'm not even talking about, I'm not even mentioning yet the likes of Choma and Madi that helped me my LinkedIn optimization, and other webinars and classes I attended that helped hone my skills. So Rome was not built in a day, and no man is an island. You understand? So that's how to position yourself, build relationships, also seek for help. Imagine I had not expressed, because when I was looking for Olaniwun Ajayi, I actually expressed it. One of the persons I shared with was with Choma Madi, because I saw that she was doing so well on LinkedIn, and I wanted to do well on LinkedIn. I shared with her my problem and challenge, and she offered to assist me. You understand? It was even her insights, or it was through her I got to understand how to grow on LinkedIn, how to invite, how to leverage invitation to connect, not just to follow, but to also build followers. So relationships are very important, and the relationship it need not even be a senior colleague. It can be your junior colleague. Of course, Choma is my junior colleague, but I was as humble because I knew what I wanted. I had to meet her. We had to relate as friends, which we are actually. You understand? So there's nothing like seniority. Life is, relationships are both vertical and horizontal. You understand? You have the one that vertical means upwards, like you are looking up, which is relationship with your senior. Horizontal is relationship with your peers. And we also have vertical is upwards and downwards. So as you're also looking upwards, you also have to look downwards, because there are some persons that you call junior colleagues. There are even junior colleagues that ask questions, how do you do this? Because I know that I'm deficient in that area and I want to learn. You understand? I want to learn. Even mentorships, webinars, sessions I've attended, some of them I was above them, but I had to just humble myself to attend them to learn. So that's how to position yourself, and by so doing you will find success. So and God will crown your effort with success. We, of course, we cannot underestimate the importance and power and the place of God in our lives. I mean, if it's by my own power, I don't think I would have done anything. So I most times I go by convictions. Yes, I go by convictions. I just believe that even when I was applying for Olaniwun Ajayi, I trusted God and I was convinced that I would get a top tier law firm. Initially, my goal was top tier law firm. Then I don't know why all of a sudden the firm that was now in my mind was Olaniwun Ajayi. Even when I was connecting on LinkedIn, it was Olaniwun, not even Templars, not Udo Udoma, Aluko. It was just Olaniwun that came to my mind. So I saw it as a divine inspiration. and the dots now connected. That's how I got it. Same thing with Omaplex. Even the MBA Calabar branch chairman, they told us to choose firms. The firm that came to my mind was MBA Calabar branch chairman. So you need divine inspiration, you need the wisdom and favor of God. So that cannot be overemphasized. So that is it on positioning yourself. So two takeaways from what I've said. The first takeaway is that you have to build strategic relations. You have to position yourself in a way that you'll be able to relate with people. And one way I did that was through leadership positions. Like I mentioned to you, class one was very instrumental. I showed you how class one helped me get the internship at the chambers of the MBA Calabar branch chairman. And even Olaniwun Ajayi. Olaniwun Ajayi was, when I met Choma, was at a class one conference, PIC conference I attended, and that's how we even bonded. Imagine I never attended the class one conference, and that was when I was class one national publicity secretary. So it also helped position me. A lot of contacts I know are through those positions. In fact, my service in Lifing was through class one. The then class one president recommended me for campus director. That's how I became campus director of Legal Digest Forum. So class one has been so instrumental. That's why I say God, you cannot underestimate the power and the role of God in your life, both your spiritual life and everything. Like you also have to take your spiritual life seriously, because that's where your relationship with God is built on. Even in Omaplex, the same class fund. Like I don't want to go deep into the details, but yes, class one was there, but I also played my role. And the second role, the second takeaway from what I've said is LinkedIn. So that was the role I played. And not just LinkedIn, I also connected with people. You get, it's one thing to even, there are people that attend conferences and they go back with fewer friends, or they just go back like that without making strategic connection. I'm this kind of person that I will not call myself social, but I actually want to, I connect with people. Yes, that's the right word. I connect with people. I ask questions. In fact, sometimes my mates even like become pissed off when I'm asking questions in class and trying to seek clarification. So that's how I am. And that's how I relate with people. That's how I get help. You get, that's how I build relationship. So you can also learn from that. Ask questions, be open, be transparent, seek for help. You understand? No man is an island. Help others and also seek for help, and you see yourself building invaluable and strategic relationships. So these are the two key takeaways from positioning yourself. LinkedIn is very important. Building intentional relations, seeking for help, meeting people, connecting with people, both your seniors and juniors, and you and attending webinar sessions like this. Of course, these slides I'm using are slides from sessions I attended. So the second point, which will take us to this our slide, is CV writing and cover letter. Yes, CV writing and cover letter. Please, is this the first part of the slide? Okay, yes. Okay, first part. Go to the next slide. Okay, preparation. So we will not bore ourselves with all this definition, meaning, and all that. CV, okay, but let's just go back. Just go back. CV. Just take note of this definition that CV. The semantic meaning of CV is course of life. It's from a French word. You get it. Makes it helps employers to know you. Is what is the employer's first point of contact with you. This is for firms that require CV. That's like I told you, my Olaniwun Ajayi internship application, I never submitted my CV, but all my players I did. You understand? So CV like is the first point of contact with your employer. Your employer's first point of contact with you, your first chance to make a statement. So you better do it well. So for these essential sections of a winning CV, we're going to skip that. We'll come to that later. Go down, go to the next slide. Go down. Go to the next slide. Go down. Go down. Making applications. Go down. Go down. Okay. Go to this slide. Is not. Go to the third slide I sent to you. We are going to the information or the provision. The information contained in this second slide is for the ending part of our session. So the next slide is more practical than this second slide. So it's in the next slide that I will show you how a CV looks like. Yeah, that's why I told you it's more practical. The third slide, man, the third material I sent to you. Are you there? Hello.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
there.
the third
So I'm getting to it.
okay, I get into
I
it.
know the third slide.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting to it.
Okay. So why you get to it? So basically, when applying for internship, when sending your cover letter and CV, there's usually a format, and this format, I'm going to show you this format, and with this format, you would be able to scale through. You'll be able to scale through the but the first thing you should know is that your CV should have a heading, and then when sending your CV, you should send it as a PDF, in a PDF form. And then cover letter, for me, my cover letter is almost the same thing as the body of my mail. Yes, my cover letter is almost the same thing as the body of my mail, because cover letter is more like a short message you will send. How I wish I can even share my slide. There are some, I want to share my own personal cover letter that I used to land some of my internship. But let's first go to that third slide before I'll see if there's a need for me to share mine. So cover letter is something that you actually need. So while she prepares the slide, let me read from what I have here. So the facts about cover letter and CV. So this third slide was prepared by Busayo in a session I attended last year, cover letter and CV writing session. So facts about cover letter and CV writing. The first is that cover letter, like I said, is an application letter. It's not like it's actually an application letter, and it accompanies your CV. So some people actually put it in a separate document, but me, I don't see the need for putting your cover letter in an application letter format, except it is expressly stated. You understand? But if it's not expressly stated, attach it to the body of your mail. Don't you attach it to the body of, no need to start saying uh, address and all. No need to start saying cover letter and all. No need to separate them. It should be part and parcel of your mail. Just like when you are sending the mail, say, hey, good day. I hope this mail meets you well. I am so and so, a law graduate. This one. That is the cover letter. I am interested in this. I am applying for this internship because you resonate with my passion for excellence, resonate with my interest. I've uh, based on my research about the firm, I've discovered that the firm is a leading technology and dispute resolution firm, and I am interested in dispute resolution. So I am applying for this to hone my skill, my tech law skill and dispute resolution skill, in order to and also to contribute my research and knowledge to the work being done in the firm. Shikina, that's how cover letter is, and there's no need for you to like have one on your mail and then have a separate document. So I don't need to overstretch that fact, overemphasize that fact. So except it is expressly stated, cover letter should be different, should not be or need not be in a document form. It should be a part of your mail. Okay, so we've gotten our slides, so we can now see it clearly. So exactly what I said, cover letter is like an application letter in a company's or CV. It is sent with your CV to provide brief and additional information about your skills and experience. It is the voice behind your CV. In fact, it is what will motivate them. It is what will motivate the recruiter to look at your CV. The content of your cover letter is what may spur the employer to go further in looking at your CV. Also, cover letter gives you the opportunity to present your qualifications and demonstrate why you are the best candidate for the role, for the internship role. While CV is a factual summary of your experience and educational qualification. So cover letter is that opportunity. It's more like your 2 minute speech. You understand? To prep so that you would and demonstrate why you should be considered for the role. So next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You
Yeah,
said next slide.
yeah, next slide, yes.
Just a minute.
It's not going. Hello. Okay, so let me read from what I have here.
Just a minute. My network. Sorry, it's going to.
Okay, so while you fix the network issue, the next thing is questions that your cover letter should answer. So the first question, okay, you've gone to there. The first question your cover letter should answer is, who are you? They want to know who you are. So the who are you is in this format. I am Uzodinma Emmanuel, a graduate of law from the University of Calabar, and I'm applying for, okay, that introduction is the who are you before you start talking about your application or the reason for your application. Then the next thing is, how did you hear about the role or opportunity? I don't think um this is actually optional. I don't really need to start saying I got to know about the role on LinkedIn, or it's not really relevant. What is relevant is you stating what will make them, what will sell you. Yeah, you stating what will sell you to them. So the third point is actually the one that is very relevant and one that you should take note of. How well do you know the company? Show that you have done your thorough research. So when I was applying, in fact, this is what I did across every application I've made. You have to research about the company. And good enough, almost every firm has a website. You understand? In fact, this research is the hard work involved in your in application, or is one of the hard works involved in application. You know, letting them. I think when I was applying at Omaplex, I got to understand that Omaplex. In fact, I used the wordings they use in their website, that they are a leading technology and dispute resolution firm specialized in rendering client tailored services. I used it for my cover letter. You understand? To show them that I know much about them. So the next one is your experience. What's your area of experience? What experiences do you have? I told them I have experience in legal research and drafting, in courtroom advocacy, in leadership. Of course, I took a number of leadership positions, and I honed this skill through mooting. That's why it's also good. If you were keenly paying attention, I stated that it's very good for you to participate in extracurriculars. Mooting is part of the extracurriculars. Leadership position is part of it. So I participated in all these things. So I say I've been able to hone these skills through courtroom advocacy, internship, mentorship opportunities, and leadership positions. So these are the experiences I have. Is in my CV I was able to detail all these experiences. You understand? So give convincing instances of how your qualifications and experience align with the job's needs. So after I stated this experience, I now stated that I'll be able to contribute this experience, my research and knowledge to the work that is being done in the firm, and to contribute to the excellent the services they are rendering to their clients, to excellently contribute to those services. So that was how I was able to demonstrate that my experience will be of invaluable contribution to the firm. So the next thing is, why do you want to work with the organization? So this this point is intertwined with the last point about your experience. So sometimes when I state my experience, I now tell them that's why I want to work with you. Before I even tell them what I will do for them, I tell them that, or even before I state my experience, I tell them that, okay, because of the nature of this firm aligns with my goals and passion. You understand? So I want to work with this firm. Express your excitement about working for the company. Tell them why you want to work. In fact, that's where you start praising them. After you've told them who they are, I think this is where this next point should come in. After you've done your research and you've told the firm what you know about the firm, the next thing is, based on what you people are doing, it aligns with my goals, aspiration, and vision, and my interest in social and so area of law. I'm interested in tech law. I'm interested in this, and the firm is very good. It's excellent in providing tech law oriented services. So that aligns with my goals and passion. I also have experience in XYZ, and with that experience, I'll be able to contribute to the work being done, and I'll be able to develop my skill set and expertise in these areas through the work being done in the firm, or through my internship with the firm. So you see how I've been able to connect all the dots together. Then lastly, you now say why they should choose you. What makes you is similar to what you are going to bring to the table, what you are going to do for the firm. Yes, it can be like two sentences. Mostly, I usually state that, if I let me read out my cover letter for you. I will not read out everything for the purpose of data privacy, but I'll just read out the relevant ones. Even the one, a cover letter I helped someone who applied for Omaplex virtual internship to craft. Um, the same cover letter, I could also use that as an insight. But let me use the one I use for this my current graduate internship at Omaplex. I told them, okay, I deeply admire the firm's mission and commitment to being a frontline law firm. Provide You don't need to. That's why I will not even state everything I wrote here, so I will not copy hook, line, and sinker. You not copy verbatim, but you gain inspiration and insight from what I am reading out. You understand? So I told them I deeply admire their mission and commitment to being a frontline law firm, providing world-class, client-tailored, and satisfactory legal services. So this shows that I knew about the firm, because that's even what was in their website. You understand? And I told them I strongly believe that an internship with the firm will not just equip me, but will give me the practical experience and competitive edge I need to succeed in the real world legal practice as a budding lawyer. That was my first sentence or paragraph. Second one, paragraph. I'm passionate about, and now that was where I now told them about my interest. Remember our line where we say, tell them about your interest and why you want to work with the organization. So I told them about my interests
I'm passionate about so and so intellectual property and in exploring the intersection between technology and law, especially in the corporate space. And I earnestly seek this opportunity to deepen my practical understanding of the relevant subjects. I also that then after this line, I now went to the next line where I told them about my experience. I have experience in legal research, writing, blah blah blah, and even in my undergraduate days, I published a number of articles. So I stated it there that I've also made publications of legal articles on social legal issues and trends, and I'm ready. This is where I now brought in what I'll do for the firm. I'm ready to apply my legal research and drafting to effectively deliver on my tasks and contribute to the work being done in the firm. You see how I was able to relate my experience to what I will achieve at the firm. Then the next and last paragraph, I have attached my CV detailing my experience as a recent graduate, qualifications and skills for your review. I'll be available for the internship during and so period. So in your cover letter, you also state that you've attached your CV and when you'll be available for the internship. So that is it. So then thank you for your kind. You now thank them. Thank you for your kind consideration. Yours faithfully. Let me use someone's name here. Yours faithfully, Frances Tamuno. Let me use uh, entire like let me use two persons' names here. So that's where you now conclude. You understand? So that is it for cover letter. So these are the questions your cover letter should answer. The next slide is related to this slide I just read out. I just used. Next slide is content of the cover letter. Once your cover letter answer these questions, then you'll be able to fulfill the requirement of the content of the cover letter. So I'm going to send you this slide so you don't have to bother about going to everything. What I read, please give me a second. Okay, so please just give me like 1 minute. There is something I just have to very quickly attend to.
All right, that's fine. Okay, so far, while we wait for our guest speaker to get back, um, I would like to hear from us. How has been the session so far? Have your expectation been met or about to be met? So let's hear from you all. Anybody wants to go? I want to have an engaging audience. So I can call on you and I will expect your response unless you are not in this webinar with us. Okay, John. John, can you hear me?
Okay, so I am back. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
our guest speaker is back. Okay, thank you.
Yes, so I'll be concluding right away. So mistakes to avoid: not doing adequate research before drafting your cover letter. Remember what I said, research about the firm. You saw where I used my research about the firm in writing my cover letter. Next one, not writing about how you will contribute to the organization. You saw that my cover letter fulfilled this requirement. It avoided this mistake of not writing how you will contribute to the it need not be so many lines, just one line. Go straight to the point, or one sentence or one paragraph is enough. Understand? Also, not mentioning the name of the company in your cover letter. So mentioning the name of the company in terms of, if you do your research in the company, obviously, though when I'm writing my cover letter, I don't like mention Omaplex, Olaniwun Ajayi and the rest. I just mentioned this firm because obviously I'm applying to Omaplex. Of course, when I'm writing, when after my introduction, the next line is I'm writing to formally apply for an internship position with Omaplex. I actually mentioned the name of the company in my introductory part, but after that introduction, I use the word this firm. I use the pronoun, right? Is it pronoun or so? The noun firm. Yes, I use the noun subsequently, the noun firm subsequently. So the last mistake to avoid is not linking your experience to the role you're applying for. So you saw that my experience was linked to the role I applied for. I told them I was passionate about dispute resolution and intellectual property, and I have experience in courtroom advocacy. So courtroom advocacy deals with dispute resolution, and then research also deals with intellectual property. You get, because it's through research you'll be able to develop your knowledge and skill set, and also mentorship and internship. When I was applying at Olaniwun Ajayi, I told them that I was interested in intellectual property, and that was what led me to do a virtual internship with Nigerian Intellectual Property Club. You saw how it clicked. You get, I did not only tell them I'm interested in it. See the step I took. I told them that okay, this is a step I took to further express and develop this my interest. So you have to link your experience with your interests. So these are the four mistakes you have to avoid. The next slide. Okay, contents of a CV. CV is actually where the main work lies. Yeah, if we had spent this much time in cover letter, how much more CV? But I'll try my best to abridge it as brief as possible. Yes, so the first content, go to the next slide. The next slide is more of a practical slide. Yes. So now this is the sample that I told this Busayo CV, the sample she used in the session that she took us on. So this now is the heading. This is the first content people will see when they open your CV. It includes your name, email address, phone number, and state of residence. You can design it to suit a letterhead or just type it out and place it at the center of the first page, but with a bigger font and an appealing style. Following the heading, you can include a brief profile in a separate section. So you can see the practical of what she said, of what she stated. This is a practical heading. Go to the next slide. I will send you this slide, so no need to screenshot it. But this is just a sample for you to see. Go to the next slide. Education. Okay, before you go to next slide, before this education, under the heading, you should have a brief profile of yourself. Okay, I think she omitted it here. Under the heading, you should have a brief profile just by the top left, just immediately under the heading, immediately after the heading, like under it, a brief profile of about 3 lines detailing who you are. 3 to 4 lines. You should not exceed 4 lines detailing who you are. So it can be a summary of what you wrote in your cover letter. You know, in your cover letter, you wrote about your experience, your interest. So it will be an introduction of your experience, your interest, and your experience. So, for example, now I don't even need to put my name again since my name is on the heading. What I will start with is recent law graduate with a demonstrable interest in intellectual property and technology law, and in intellectual property and technology law. If maybe I graduated with first class, or I can even state like my grade. If I graduated a very good grade, or I've not yet graduated, but I'm on a very good grade, I can put currently on a first class grade or a second class upper grade with 4.32. But if you don't have a first class, I don't even think you should put that as a class upper and the rest. You understand? But the grade is not even necessary. What is necessary is let them know your interest and then the experience. After your interest, the next sentence is have gained hands-on experience in
in intellectual property through through internship and mentorship sessions, or have honed his advocacy skills, to have gained hands-on experience in advocacy, legal drafting, and research through internship and mentorship sessions or through advocacy. So it should just be a brief profile, a brief summary of you in a separate section following the heading. So the next slide is your education. I hope I'm not boring you guys. I'm not boring anyone.
Not at all.
No, not at all, sir.
Okay. Okay, so thank God for that. So the next one, because I'm seeing some people are leaving the call. I don't know why, whether maybe it's network or they are tired. Okay, so going further, going further is education. This section should contain your academic degree and performance. So if maybe you're on a good grade, you can put it. But if maybe you're on a a not so strong second class, maybe your second class is 3.6, there's no need to put that 3.6. But if your second class is 4.3 or 4.4, or you're even a first class graduate with 4.7, you can put it. You get, so you put your current education experience. Yes. So that is it. And this is how it is arranged. Take note of the arrangement, it's very, very important. A straight line under the education, the school you attended, and the degree one side, the year you attended it one side. Your recent education should come first, and if you are in school, the school you are currently attending should be listed first. If you have completed school, include the date you started and finished, e.g. 2019 to 2024. So that is it. The next slide. Next slide. Experience. This is where you now talk about your work experience. Okay. So your experience now is where you talk about your skills, the skills you've where you demonstrate the skills you've listed in your CV. So what experience do you have that should make us want to accept you? You understand? Whether in a job application or an internship application, what experience? So you can see example here. The arrangement, take note of the arrangement. You understand? So just like education, work, the heading or the subheading will be work experience. Then there will be a line below, a straight line below, that will separate the work experience with the name of the firm. So the name of this firm now is BBB. This is a fictional firm, BBB and Co. Lagos, Nigeria. Honed my skills in legal research and writing by covering topics on the commencement of action in civil and criminal litigation. So these are practical areas, like these are practical experiences that the person had garnered in the course of the internship. So I facilitated the incorporation of over 30 business entities via the CAC portal, just what you did at the firm during the time of your internship. So that is it. So the next slide. So take note, your experience now you should not be, I think it should be at most 3 to 4. In fact, my own is not even up to 4. Is it? I think the fourth one is just 1 or 2 lines. But the experience should not, in as much as it should be detailed or it should be rich, it should not be over surplus. 3 is enough. Highest 4, you get. Highest 4, but let it not be 2. If it's 2, let it be rich. When I mean rich, you're able to do a lot of things and maybe it lasted long. But if you don't have an experience yet, because I know a lot of us don't have experience, and in this sample, the experience there was intern. If you don't have an experience yet, that's where you now use your volunteer experience.
or leadership experience, or under that work experience you can put your mood. If you participated in mood, that's why it's very important to participate in mood. If you participated in mood and maybe you won mood, or you emerge finalist, or you won the best memorial, you have to state it here. That's your experience. You get, it's your work experience. If you occupied a leadership position, maybe you occupy a leadership position in a club. Leadership position in a club is quite different from leadership position in Lausanne, because Lausanne is more of an organization, club is more of academic. So what the hands-on experience you gained academically, which mood is inclusive, essay writing, maybe you wrote an essay and you won best essay, even though you did not win best essay, maybe you participated, or maybe you emerged as finalist, put it there. What did you do in the course of the essay writing? What did you do in the course of that thing that you claim you did? What's your experience there? Maybe when you're if you participated in a moot competition, you drafted brief. You drafted brief. Put it there. You say you drafted brief that you led your team. You led your team to victory. Maybe you won the moot competition, or you drafted the winning brief. You drafted a brief that won best memorial. Put it there. You understand? So that is it. If you don't have a work experience yet, but if you have a work experience, maybe you've interned, or you've acted as a research assistant to maybe a lecturer, or to a lawyer, or to a senior colleague, or a professional, then you also have to put it there. You understand? So that is it. So that is what can also qualify as work experience. So the next one now is leadership experience. This section should highlight situations where you've demonstrated leadership qualities in your school or workplace. Include your position, such as president, and describe what you accomplished in that role. Note that not everyone needs this section in their CV. So now, if maybe you don't have work experience, you can use your leadership experience as work experience. What you will now do is that you can call it volunteer slash leadership experience, or volunteer slash work. Don't put leadership. If you don't have, these are for those that don't have leadership that don't have work experience. This is for those that don't have work experience. So but if you have work experience, then it's good for you to separate work experience from leadership. But if you have work experience, it's good for you to separate work experience from leadership. But if you don't have work experience, take notes. If you don't have work experience, just put everything under one heading, which is experience, and the name you tag that experience is volunteer slash work experience, even though actually it was a leadership position or a leadership experience, but that's the work experience you have for now. So you have to put it, and you volunteered, you were not paid for that role. So you have to put it, you actually gained, you did something using that role. Maybe as you were secretary of Lausanne, and as secretary you wrote memos, you did research. State it, that's your experience. They know that will make them know that you are someone of, maybe you are someone of capacity, and you are someone that is working and willing to not just work but to learn. You understand? So you have to put it there, even though you've actually not interned. So if you've not done any, that's why I say year one and year two should focus on gaining those skill set and experience that you need to apply for internship roles. So if you don't even have leadership position, and you are participating in competition, year one, year two, you should participate in competitions. Come out from your shell, meet with people, attend conference. You understand? Like in this example now, you can see that the example given is University of Ibadan Students Representative Council, even though this one is a political position, speaker. But even if you don't have, you can put, you attend, let me use class 4 national conference for example. You can put class 4 national, or class 4 conferee, and if you actively participated in the conference, or maybe you volunteered as an usher, that's why it's very good for you to volunteer. If you are not occupying leadership position, you need to volunteer, whether in your fellowship, in any organization you are, whether in the faculty. If you are class rep or class governor, state it there, but just volunteer, do something apart from academics, because internship is extracurricular. So you have to also participate in extracurricular to be able to get internship that is extracurricular. You get, except maybe you are this person that has the connection, maybe you have connections that don't require you to go through this rigorous process of application. But if you don't have that connection, you have to go the extra mile to participate in the extracurricular and make sure that you are able to craft winning save a winning CV that will help you get into that dream firm that you want to intern at. So it's very important for you to be active, actively participate in your school, actively participate in extracurricular, and you see the wonders to do for you in your CV. So you can see. So let's go to the next slide. I'll send you this sample. The next slide. Others. So after that experience, work and leadership experience, the next thing now is others, your publications. And these are my CV structured. My award, publication, and certification. In fact, I combined everything together because I did not want to have too many sections. So there was a time I participated in a moot competition and I won best advocate. I put it there. There was a time I emerged first runner up in an essay I wrote. I put it there. What, even my certification with ICMC with an ADR institute, I put it there. So all those things, this is where you are going to put it. This is where you are going to put them. So for publications, include citations for articles, books, or publications that you have authored. Awards and honors include scholarships, competitions, competition wins, honors and awards. Skills, legal research and writing. Proficient in the use of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and PowerPoint. Then certifications, conferences, unless or if conferences, unless maybe your CV is scanty, that's when you put conference, but I don't really see the need for that. You get after this skill, I think for me, certification comes before skill. That's how my own CV is. Certification, so skill is the last, then referee. In fact, referee is the last. Skill comes before referee. So after my certification, I put my skill. After my skill, then you see my referee. But my referee is available on request. I don't just put the details of my referee like that unless they so request for it. So that is it. So tips for CV writing. This is where we're going to stop. What's the next slide after this? Let me know if how to build your CV. Okay, I've talked a bit about this, but I'm still going to brush through when we reach to this slide. But go to the previous slide. Yeah, so tips for CV writing. I'm just going to read through. Exclude unnecessary information such as age, date of birth, parents' occupation, religion, hobbies, ethnic identity, political affiliation, marital status, photographs, height, weight, and health. These details are not relevant to your CV unless hobbies are relevant to the position you are applying for. Take note. It is also important to use bullet points for better clarity and structure in your CV. Maintain a font size of 12 for optimal readability. Your CV should be tailored to fit the jobs you are applying for. Remember, that's why I say you should research on the company that you are applying for, and then the job description. Your CV should capture those keywords in the job description. If they are looking for a research assistant or for, but since you are not looking for a job yet, you are looking for internship, what your CV should capture is what the firm is doing. If it's a technology law firm, there should be something related to technology law that you've done. Either it will be in your CV In fact, it should be in your CV. Maybe it can be under your profile or under one of your skills. But something technology law, that keyword should be there. Dispute resolution and the rest should be there. If that's what the firm focuses on. So that's why it's good for you to do your research on the firm. So your CV should be tailored to fit the jobs you're applying for. Use keywords, incorporate relevant keywords to your CV, such as developed, initiated, achieved, directed. These are action words. Analyzed, coordinated, and designed to effectively convey your accomplishments. Demonstrate organization in your CV by using an effective format and maintaining consistency. So the next slide. So maintain consistency, use an effective format. So this format I gave you is the effective format you should use. So you should maintain the consistency, it should be in one side. Just maintain the consistency. Maintain. When I send you this slide, you're going to see how it is. So this sample that I showed you, that's how your CV should look like. Lastly, how to build your CV. I've talked about this. Apply for graduate roles, internship roles to gain experience. Volunteer. Exactly. Before we even got to this slide, you see, I talked about this. I said a bit about volunteering for roles at organization. Volunteer. That's what will embellish your CV as volunteer experience. Then develop your skills, your communication skills, your advocacy skills, your research skills, your drafting skills. Develop them. These are skills relevant to internship applications, relevant to the roles you're applying for in the firm. Then participate in extracurricular activities such as mooting, debate competitions, essay competitions, and the rest. Leadership positions, even political leadership positions are also relevant. You understand? So that is it. Then the last slide, I think that's the last slide. Okay, thank you for listening. So question and answer. So this is the last slide. So I believe you must have gotten value from all that I have said so far. So once more, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. So avoid those mistakes that you should avoid when writing your CV and cover letter, and you see yourself crafting winning CVs and cover letters. Okay, questions. How do you align your CV for every internship opportunity? To answer this question, I will start by saying research on the firm. I've been talking about researching on the firm. You saw how my cover letter, when I read out my cover letter to you, you saw what I added to my cover letter, how I aligned my cover letter to the role I'm applying for. I was able to show them that I know about this firm. So because like Omaplex I'm currently interning at, I discovered that the firm is heavy on dispute resolution and technology law. So everything I was doing was relating to dispute resolution and technology law. Even when I was applying at Olaniwun Ajayi, they also do dispute resolution and technology. That was even when I got the internship, when I started interning there, I told them that these were my areas of interest, and these were the areas I joined in the firm and developed my skills there. So it's always important for you to align your CV for every internship opportunity. You need to research on what the firm does and use the keywords that the firm uses. If it's technology law firm, put technology law, maritime law, energy law, dispute resolution. Just put those keywords. That's how to align your CV to match what they need. If they are looking for a research assistant, put legal research and drafting. Moot competitions will help you. You understand? So that is it. What are agencies, organizations, firms, etc. seeking for in a CV when they call out for applications for internship? I've already said this. I answered this when answering the first one. What they are seeking for relevant keywords related to what they are doing. There are some firms that are purely litigation firms. There's no way you put technology law in firms that are purely or heavily into litigation. There was a friend of mine, there's a firm she's currently interning at. She said that the firm does not like hearing anything tech law, anything tech. Is heavy on litigation, and like it's all these older firms that are managed by this older generation. You get so know what the firm wants, and how you know it is by researching about the firm and matching your CV, because most firms, when they are accepting internship, they will usually release a flyer. So go to the flyer, know the contents of the flyer. Is in the contents of the flyer, you know what they want. Do you understand? You know what they're seeking for with regards to that particular application, internship application. The third question: how do you even draft a company CV for an internship application? I have answered this question. This is the essence of this class. Everything I said in this class is how to draft a company CV. I've taken you through step by step procedure on how to draft a company CV, what to avoid and what not to avoid, what to include and what to avoid. So the next question: what are the skills involved in getting an internship? I've mentioned it: research, drafting, uh, advocacy, for especially for litigation firms. Then mostly research, writing and drafting. That's why most firms, you have to attach your LinkedIn handle at the heading of your CV. I forgot to say it. If you check the first slide we used, the first slide of this particular slide we are using, that header, the heading of your CV, there should be a place where you attach your link. After you've attached your email address, the next thing that should come, and your phone number, the next thing that should be attached is your LinkedIn email. Sorry, not LinkedIn link, not email. Your LinkedIn link. That's what you should attach, because i- LinkedIn will help them. And I've talked about LinkedIn, how uh, LinkedIn is a professional platform for networking and connecting. So you write relevant things on LinkedIn. You write relevant things on LinkedIn, and then when they see your LinkedIn profile and what you've written on LinkedIn, most friends will call you. There's a friend of mine that she said her senior colleague, how she got a job at Olaniwun Ajayi was she not even apply. It was Ajayi that chatted her, though she's a double first class lady. Olaniwun Ajayi chatted her on LinkedIn and told her to come for their interview. She attended the interview, and that's how she was accepted. So there's no hard and fast rule to that. So they need someone that is brilliant. Of course, you have to show that you're brilliant. You have to be smart. Even when we when we interned at Olaniwun Ajayi told us plainly that they usually employ first class. So that was in a way to encourage us to make first class. But even if you don't make first class, don't be discouraged. It's not We have other firms. In fact, Omaplex, they don't whether you made first class is not first class is not a criteria for either working in or interning at Omaplex. In fact, my fellow interns, I don't think there's any first class. So don't be discouraged. But what you should know is that you just have to be smart. Be willing, show that readiness and willingness to work. Show that you have communication skill and you are skillful in handling Microsoft tools like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. Um, what are those tools? Microsoft Excel, um, PowerPoint. Yes, Microsoft PowerPoint. All those softwares. Let them know that you are tech savvy. Yes, you are tech savvy and computer proficient. So that is it. So that's a skill. I think there's another question. I hope that answers your question. The next one is: what is your advice for networking with people through LinkedIn after webinars? Yeah, you should network with people through LinkedIn. Uh, if I think first network first you have to connect with the host. So you connect with the host, and there are some webinars where there's usually WhatsApp groups. So it's in those WhatsApp groups that sometimes they send the participants in the webinar send their LinkedIn handles, and then you will follow them and they will follow you back. it will be a mutual connection and followership. So I don't know whether there is any such. Okay, on the Wisdom Ignite Academy, yes, you can be a member of the academy, send your LinkedIn handle for people to follow you and for you to follow them back. That's how you network with them through LinkedIn. Do you think certificate of virtual internship are important in a CV? And can we just say what we did only? Or can we just say what we did? They are very important. I told you now, I told you when I was applying, I mentioned that I did a virtual internship with Nigeria Intellectual Property Club. And that was even, I think that was one of the main reasons that I got accepted. I was able to align my interest with my experience. So your virtual internship is your experience. Align it with your interest. If you're interested in intellectual property and you did a virtual internship in that, tell them that and you will be good to go. So say it, say it, and then say what you did in the course of the virtual internship and you'll be good to go. So lastly, for the person that was texted, how was she able to do that? I don't, for the person that was texted by Olaniwun Ajayi, how was she able to do that? I told you that she's a double first class, and Olaniwun told us that they employ first class graduates. So they were impressed by her profile, and she had a good LinkedIn profile. For the networking, how do you build relationships with the people you connect with? Okay, so how you build relationships with the people you connect with is, so before I answer this question, for Olaniwun Ajayi, it's good, not just the firm. Though if you don't have, like me, I did not have a first class, but my grade was good. You get, so it's very good you have good grades. And it must not be a first class, but you should have good grades in all you're doing. That's why I say your year one and year two should be your foundational years. Don't bother so much about intern. What you should bother about is developing your skills and developing your grades. The good grade I have or I graduated with was because of my year one and year two. You get, just that I goofed in a bit year three and year four, but because of my foundational years, my good grades in those foundational years, that was why I was able to maintain the good CGPA I graduated with. So it's very important for you to take your grades very seriously. And the networking, how you build relationship with them is by, you can engage their posts, you can chat them up. There are people, there are friends I made from LinkedIn, and we took over from there. I sent my WhatsApp number to them, or they sent their WhatsApp numbers to me, and that's how we became mutual friends. So you chat them up. There is a messaging uh, messaging platform for messaging people on LinkedIn. So there's a messaging platform for messaging people on LinkedIn. So you chat them up, message them. If maybe you cannot message them, you can engage their posts, especially if they post. If they post, you engage their posts, comment on their posts, share your views. You can repost, you can quote their post and give your view or your opinion about what they posted. And that's how you can succeed and connect and relate with them on LinkedIn. You can take it over from there, from LinkedIn. You can be relating with them on WhatsApp. You be mutual friends and connections. You establish a mutual connection with them. So the basis or the foundation will be from LinkedIn. So that's how build you can effectively build connections with people that you connect with on LinkedIn. So message them on LinkedIn, engage their posts, repost, quote their posts. Just be active. Let them feel your presence and let them feel your impact, the impact of your presence, and also see you as someone that is offering value. Share ideas, solve their problems, or give them reasonable advice. Just relate with them. Sometimes it does not really have to be so formal. That's why sometimes they now move the conversation to WhatsApp, so it will not be so formal. So I can be mutual and a bit informal. You get, so that is it. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Thank you so much once more. Thank you, Wisdom Ignite Academy, for having me. It's been a pleasure speaking in tonight's webinar. I find fulfillment doing so this night. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, our guest speaker, Emmanuel Uzodinma. We are so, so grateful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your experience you've shared. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing even the inside tips with us. We are so grateful. Thank you so much. So, does anybody have any question? Because we're rounding off now. For being here till now. If you have any question you want to ask directly, we'll just give you an opportunity before we end the webinar. Does anybody have any question? Do you have your question unanswered? Okay, I believe that everybody's expectation has been met and it has been a wonderful webinar. So please do ensure you take a screenshot, take a picture of this webinar right now, and ensure you share on LinkedIn, what you have learned. Tag our guest speaker. He has numerous followers. So that will be a good way for your LinkedIn optimization. Tag Emmanuel Uzodinma on LinkedIn. Tag Wisdom Ignite Academy on LinkedIn. And we've kept the group chat link in the chat so you can join Wisdom Ignite Academy. And the recording of this webinar will be on our YouTube channel, which has also been kept on the chat. So you can ensure you listen again and follow all the step-by-step details that has been given. All right, so in the absence of any questions, I'm just going to have a closing prayer. Lord, we say thank you for this webinar. Thank you for the success. Thank you for the wisdom you've given unto Emmanuel Uzodinma to share with us how to navigate internship applications successfully. We pray that you continue to lift him even in his legal career and endeavors in the name of Jesus. Every of us that we've attended this webinar, help us to practicalize all we've learned. And we pray for
Amen.
Wisdom Ignite Academy, that this academy shall be a legacy and not just another academy. Thank you for
Amen.
your always with us. Be glorified, Lord. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
everyone.
Amen.
Thank you to all our participants. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate your time. Thank
Thank
you
you.
once
Thank you
again,
so
our
much.
guest speaker. We are grateful for the gift of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye for now.